What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. So, as per usual with every new PV we get, the following day is a new producer's letter. So this time we have producer's letter volume 65. We don't have a ton of stuff here because, as they will say in here that you'll see here in a minute, they plan to have the second half of the month's content shown on the live stream that's happening on the 9th, which is just 2 days away. It will be basically Thursday morning. No, Friday morning, sorry. Yeah, Friday morning. So let's just go ahead and go over what they have here. So first thing they're starting off, we held from 8/22, the Sword Art Online X Tales of Collaboration is finally coming to an end. For those who don't know, you have about not even 24 hours left as of this video going up until the collab will end. The banners and the events will be gone, so any last minute summoning or anything you want to do, make sure you do that right now. In this collaboration, we have received favorable comments from various people, such as Scenario and Production. I think it is thanks to the enthusiasm of the production staff on site and cooperation of the publisher. The remaining dates for such collaboration events are getting shorter. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. So, the remaining, when they mean by remaining dates, because this is Google Translate, obviously, is how many times a collaboration will be rerun. So, what they're saying here is, there's no guarantee that this will ever come back. I mean, you look at the last time we had a Sword Art Online collab, it was like 4 years ago at this point. So, what they're saying is, if you don't have what you wanted to get, and you'll regret, if this never comes back, if you'll regret not having summoned, make sure you try and summon now, because there's no guarantee when a collab happens that it will ever rerun. So, just be aware of that. Also, I lost my place. Also, as a collaboration character this time, the final Magic Mirror has appeared for the first time, and at the same time, the second Magic Mirror has been implemented for the first time, which is very true. Up until this point, no collab character has ever had two Mirage Arts or a second type of Mirage Art, just in general. The only thing you can kind of get close to that before this happened was if you were to max dupe a Mirage Art, you could put it in the third slot, in the auto slot, and then you could essentially fill up the bar with that. Due to the timing and release information here, I apologize for not being able to explain in advance. Let me touch on it again. This time it was decided early on that Yu-Gi-Oh! And Alice would join the battle. This is the end of the second collaboration, but this time it's new until Sword Art Online, Alice's Ancient War of Underworld. So yeah, they're basically saying they decided a long time ago, whenever they would do this collab, that it was going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! And Alice, which makes sense. I mean, yes, you could have done stuff, like you could have added Sinon and Leafa and stuff, but they aren't like headliners of an arc. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Alice were headliners of the entire Alicization arc, so it makes sense that they would be added, and they had the most content you could add. It would be better if there were additional elements suitable for Asuna and Kirito. I think fans of Sword Art Online would be pleased with it. With that in mind, we have embarked on the implementation. So yeah, they're basically just saying, something they decided wanting to do final Mirage Arts for Asuna and Kirito. As a result, there were pros and cons. The rate of increase in new and returning users, the highest this year. I think there were many people who were happy to accept it. The base on the negative opinion is, I don't want a second Magical Mirror implementation of a collaboration character rather than implement a new Magic Mirror of your favorite Tales character. They're basically saying there was a lot on both sides, even though this is a Japanese game, the English and Japanese side kind of felt off about collaboration characters getting final Mirage Arts when only like 3 or 4 or 5 characters at this point have final Mirage Arts. So Kirito and Asuna, who are not Tales characters, essentially got this new type of Mirage Art before over half of the main protagonists from actual Tales games. So that's the big thing people just weren't a fan of. And then the other thing was that, now this essentially makes it so Kirito and Asuna, if you max dupe them out, essentially, they'll be permanently stronger than any Tales character can be, because collaboration characters, because up to this point, they have only been able to have one Mirage art, technically two, like I said before, if you max dupe them out. Their overall stats, just in general, are higher, or not even stats, just their power score is naturally higher than that of a Tails character, because you don't have as much gear to kind of put them with, where this kind of, kind of nullifies that, because now, if you have max dupes for either any of Kirito or Asuna's Mirage arts, and then you have the other Mirage art, you can essentially have all three Mirage slots filled up, which will essentially make them more powerful than a Tails character. So there was people who were, like me, who were excited about it. Like, the stuff I just explained didn't bother me at all. I'm like, whatever. But I do understand why people didn't like it. So that's what basically they were talking about. There were plus sides and negative sides to implementing this. Okay, so there was no... Okay, so they have nothing to say about questions this month. Future updates, September, late. Countermeasures against neglecting unison. So basically for co-op, for people who just kind of... And I run into this every time I do co-op, is people who aren't actually playing. They set the game to auto, and they just kind of let it play, which is fine to an extent, but the Mirage arts don't get used. And when you need those Mirage arts active, especially on the boss stages, 20, 40, 60, it kind of makes it hard for you to clear the stage when people aren't using their Mirage arts. Changing the logic of friends display during quests. I guess just having more variety of it, because that's what I would like to see. I mean, my idea of how to do the friend system is have us be able to set one friend character, or one Mirage art, basically, for each color. So we've got red, blue, purple, brown, green, and yellow, and then you have rainbow. So have 7 Mirage arts you can have set at any given time. So then when you go to your friends list, you just pick the one, and you have specific friends that have certain characters. I think that would be a lot more useful than only having one at a time. Because I have friends who, nothing against them, but they never change their character. They just have it be their favorite character at all times, which, I'm not going to remove my actual friends from my friends list, but it does make it not as useful until that character they have set actually gets an event. So it would be nice if we could have all these different varieties. Something I also want, this has nothing to do with the friend system, I wish we could choose which picture appears when you're looking at your team to go into a stage. If the character has a spirit gear, I'm going to get to Final Mirage Arts in a second, because there's also something with that. If the character has a spirit gear, then the spirit gear by default is the picture that shows. It doesn't matter which Mirage Arts, unless you have a Final Mirage Art equipped. It doesn't matter what other Mirage Arts you have shown, or you have equipped, it won't show them. It either shows a spirit gear, or if the character has a Final Mirage Art, it shows their Final Mirage Art as the picture. It would be nice if for your team you could choose which picture you want it to show, because some spirit gear arts I just don't like the artwork for. So I would like to, and sometimes I just like to change it up. I like seeing different artworks, when I'm going into stages. So that'd be kind of something nice I'd like to see at some point. Okay, and they're raising the maximum number of followers from 100 to 150. It's not anything crazy, but it does help. Timing undecided, spirit outfit repair undecided, still. And then new development, I'll touch on it a little bit during the live broadcast. This is the content I announced earlier about. So, what this is talking about is the new development that they've been teasing, basically that's going to start when the main story ends. Obviously, we've been doing Last Cradle at this point for a very long time. Has it been over 2 years since Last Cradle started? I don't actually remember. It has to be coming close if it isn't already. But they have mentioned that once Last Cradle does come to a close, that's not going to be the end of Tales of the Rays. And I want to keep reiterating that for people, because people see this and they're immediately like, oh, the story's going to end, the game's going to shut down. Like, it's not going to shut down anytime soon. Rays is too good for them right now, like, popularity-wise, in terms of keeping interest in the series alive, for them to shut it down. Because, as you've seen, Arise released last year, And besides the mobile games, there has been nothing, announced. So having a mobile game as big as Rays that plays like normal Tales is really good for the series as a whole. So they're not going to shut it down anytime soon. And even if when they do, they're probably going to release something that's similar to Rays. Like it'll play like normal Tales. Okay. So measurements again. Okay, yeah. So you don't want to match with people who leave auto on during unison attack. As measured, we will take measures against your request. As explained, we'll take the following measures: incorporating the number of likes in a matching condition. How nice. Try to match with people who have a lot at the same time. Okay. At the same time, likes in one match. Okay. Only normal matching conditions. Okay, so people who can't go auto. So like a matching system that doesn't let people be auto. Okay. Okay, so nothing too crazy there. It's being tested, but when it's implemented by a large number of people. Yeah, so it's going to be something they're going to implement and then kind of see how it works and make adjustments as time goes on. Yeah, they're talking about the friend system. Okay. This is something this is also the content we announced before. High bonus friends are not displayed during quests. In order to improve the situation, adds a spec to keep the last friend selected. Okay, so if you have a specific friend you use, maybe they'll just keep popping up. I mean, that would be kind of nice. Okay, and the follower increasing. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So, the order of these events, as it should be obvious at this point, the Arise event is going to be starting tomorrow with the Mirage arts for... we know at this point that Kisara and Dohalim are getting decisive Mirage arts. Because they made the Twitter post for it. Let's actually see. Does it say anything about overrays? Okay, no. All four of them... Okay, so yeah. All four of them are decisive magic mirrors. None of these four are overrays, which makes sense because I feel like for Alpha and Shion specifically, I feel like their overray artworks are going to probably be in their end game costumes. Sorry if you haven't finished Arise, but it has been a year. So these are all decisive Mirage arts. None of these are overrays. Okay, good to know. So that's going to be happening tomorrow. On the 16th, we are going to have a co-op for Arise. And then probably around like the 18th to the 20th will be this Explorers event that we saw in the PV as well. So yeah, you can see it all right here. Seasonal magic mirrors for them. Sorry for the small print, it's already been announced, but the continuation will be live on 9/9. They're basically confirming, and this is actually smart on their part. They're going to release this Arise banner, which Decisive Mirage Arts, which a lot of fans are going to want to summon for, and then, which is like, the stream is a day after this banner goes live. So when the banner's been live for after a day, then they're going to drop, I think they're going to drop a final Mirage art at the end of the month. I don't know for which character, but that's going to be my assumption. So if you are worried about which because we still have a number of protagonists, it could be Velvet, it could be Stan, it could be Cress, it could be Yuri, it could be, anyone, Jude, Milla. So there's still a lot of, and I don't think they're going to give final Mirage arts to secondary characters until all the main protagonists have theirs. Which obviously sucks because that'll mean Alphen will once again get another Mirage art, probably within the next year. Well, maybe not, because there's still like 10 plus games they have to go through. Okay, Arise first anniversary event in production. Short story of Carol Expedition. I would like to tell you about... Okay, so they're going to talk about on the live broadcast. In addition, we plan to deliver Chapter 20 of the main scenario as planned. The main scenario that lasted for more than 5 years is coming to an end. In the live broadcast, the outlook after the main scenario is completed. So what they're saying is they're going to talk about what's going to come after the main story is over. It's actually kind of crazy to think about. We also touch on the schedule for information disclosure after that. So they're talking about what else is going to come at the rest of the month. Whether there's a new Mirage art for the story chapter and what the final event for this month is going to be. So I want to quickly talk about the main scenario thing. Here's how I kind of see things playing out. I think by the end of 2022, like maybe we'll get, if there's a chapter every month leading to the end of this year, I think we could get the finale being at the end of December. They always drop it around like the 22nd to the 25th. So we get the final chapter in December. And if there is going to be a brand new story with brand new protagonists, whatever they're going to decide to do, I think that will start during the anniversary. So they'll take a 2-month break with no main story, which they've obviously done before. And then we'll get that new kind of thing starting with the 6th anniversary. That's just my guess, but that's where I kind of see things going. But I'm sure they're going to tell us more about it on Friday. Friday, right? Yeah. And obviously after the stream has ended, well, probably in the afternoon because I won't be up for the stream, because obviously it's very early in the morning, I will go over everything they talk about. You've been with Ray since the beginning. Iken OP will be graduating. Okay, so they're basically talking the current producer for Tales of the Rays, and who has, pretty much been with Tales since, I think in the blog, we can actually look at, I'm not going to read the whole blog because it's kind of long. But he basically goes on to say, like, what an experience it's been, and, can I, translate to English? And that he's basically been with Tales since, yeah, right here, it may sound a little, my first project was the PlayStation 3 version of Tales of Symphonia, Unison Pack. And he basically goes to talk about what it's been like working with Rays, and basically goes on to introduce the new producer. I don't think this is anything to worry about. I think it's like he says in this blog, that he's just moving on from this stage of his life, moving on to other things. I don't think Rays is going to be any better or worse because of this. So that's just something to keep in mind. They're going to talk about the 2,000-day campaign. Sorry for not being able to do it exactly on the 2,000th day. I don't even know what day would have been the 2,000th day, but the campaign itself is going to start on 9/10, so it's going to start the day following the stream. As an apology for the delay, the number of days delayed times 3 diamonds they will send to us. Oh, I wonder if that was the 66 diamonds that they gave us during... Like yesterday, I got on the game and there were 66 diamonds in my box. So I wonder if... So what is that? 3 times... So 33 days late, so it should have happened like a month ago? That's kind of crazy if that's how that is. And then I guess we can quickly go over the new... producer. Apparently, their name is Ben. Apparently, Ben is from overseas, which is going to be very interesting if we do have an overseas producer, because I guess depending on where from overseas they are from, they might be aware that they have a bunch of English players still playing Rays. So I guess we'll have to see what kind of happens with that. But it's not like they're just throwing some random person into this. So like you can see right here, as for the Rays, I was in charge of the promotion from the beginning to the second part. I think that means from like the start to the like second arc. And after that, I experienced work on another Tales of series. That's very like that doesn't tell us much. Like, what Tales of series did you work on something new? Like, what does that mean? And recently returned to the Rays team to serve as assistant producer. So this could be a project that isn't announced yet. I wouldn't think too hard into that. It literally could just be that, like, they didn't want to mention what series they were working on, but this is clearly somebody who has been around. It's not just someone brand new, so I don't think there's anything to worry about with that. But that's pretty much it for the producer's letter. Like I said, the rest of this stuff will be talked about, the rest of the stuff we should be getting for the month will be talked about on the live stream on the 9th. And then starting on the 8th, less than a day from now, we'll start the Arise event. So I will, of course, which is going to be a raid event, so make sure you're ready to start farming stuff up. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what you expect moving forward. It's kind of crazy to think about. We're only about 5.5 months away from the 6th anniversary. It's really been that long since the 5th anniversary. Very interested to see where we go with the 6th anniversary and what kind of banner we might expect. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.